guys, my name's Hope Morrissey and this is little Carter. We're going to be taking over the Glow Dreaming Instagram stories today and just showing you what we get up to. A little backstory on us. We live in a small town called Dubbo. Carter is 7 months old. He will actually be 8 months this coming Sunday. He was born in June. We've been using the Glow Dreamer since the very first day that he was born. And then we used their oil when he reached 8 weeks because they suggest to not use it before the baby's at 8 weeks because it can have the opposite effect. So that was very exciting when I could finally use the oil. So yeah, stick with us and we're going to show you everything we get up to. So it's breakfast time, so while I'm making his breakfast, I'm just going to give him a strawberry, just so it occupies him while I'm cooking breakfast. Is that nice? So now I'm going to give him, I make zucchini pancakes. It's literally just half a banana, quarter a zucchini grated, 1 egg, and a little bit of self-raising flour, maybe a teaspoon. Oh! I like giving him the zucchini pancakes in the morning because I know that he's had at least half a piece of fruit and a little bit of vegetable. I think it just starts off the day really well. So he'll probably have maybe another 2 of those pancakes, and then I will top him up with a little bit of porridge just to make sure he's nice and full. So now I'm just topping him up with a porridge. Ended up eating that whole serve that I made him. This is the porridge that I've tried with him, banana and apricot, whole grain cereal. Well, it's a cereal, not a porridge, but I've had it for maybe 3 weeks and he might have it every second day for breakfast. He seems to enjoy it. I also have 1 pancake left over, so he ate 1 more than I thought that he would. So I'm going to save that and possibly give that to him with his lunch. And now he's gnawing on a strawberry again. And I'm going to now give him a bath. So we're all bathed. He usually does stay in there longer, but this morning he just wanted a quick one. I know when he's ready to get out because he just yells at me. It's kind of like he's just yelling out. So now I'm going to dry him. I'm going to put some baby oil all over him. Yes. And then we're going to put him in a fresh change of clothes. And it's nearly his nap time again. He's all dressed. He's all dry. He would not let me do up these top buttons. So you're a bit of a cool dude today, aren't you? So now we're going to just play, read a story. And he will go down for a nap at around 9 o'clock. Because he woke up at 7, he's usually awake for 2 hours. And yeah, he's just started to learn how to sit up. He can't get there by himself, and he's still a little bit wobbly, so I just put a pillow behind him because the other day he did fall. And yeah, look at you go, buddy. Very proud. And we're just watching Lulu Kids. Whoa, there he goes. We're just watching Lulu Kids on Netflix. It's his favourite show. Carter has just woken up. Hi. Hello. Say hello. So he's been asleep since 9 o'clock. and it is 11:20 something. So that's just 2.5 hours almost. He usually does not sleep like that at home when he's at daycare. They do say that sometimes he'll have like a 2-hour nap in the morning, but he hasn't done that at home since he was maybe like 5 months old. So that's amazing. Normally his first nap is about half an hour. So that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. So it's nearly lunchtime now, so we'll go out and play, and then I'll whip him up some lunch. A little bit of more information about us is Carter was born the 2nd of June, which was actually his due date. So he's one of the 3%, which is pretty crazy. I thought I would go overdue. I prepared to go overdue. I actually wasn't going to finish work until the Thursday before my due date. So 3 days before I was due was going to be my last day of work. And on Tuesday, I was having Braxton Hicks all day, and I knew I wasn't going to make it to my Thursday. So I actually finished up on the Tuesday. I went into work on the Wednesday and I packed up all my desk, said my farewell to everyone, and then I went up to the hospital. But I didn't go up to the hospital for myself. So my nan was actually in ICU at the time. She was quite sick. So I went up there to see her after I left work. And I was sitting by her bed, and it was just past lunchtime, and my contractions started. And I remember I would just be talking, and my dad was sitting there as well, and I was like, and I just had a contraction. And the nurses and the doctors would be coming in to check Nan, and then they would be talking, and I would just have a contraction. And they were like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, "Yeah, my labor's just started, like, it's all good." So anyway, I've gone home, and I'm like, right, let's have this baby. We're having a baby. So I thought he was going to come that night. My mum lives in Newcastle, which is 4 hours away from me. So she left her house very late in the night that Wednesday night because she didn't finish work until late. So she ended up getting here early hours of the morning. I couldn't sleep. My contractions were so bad. And I think I actually went up to the hospital that night with my partner. But pretty much the whole time I was in labour from Wednesday to Sunday. We kept going up to the hospital, and I just wasn't dilating. So my waters hadn't broken. I was just having contraction after contraction. And my contractions were very long. They were so long that I remember one of the nights I had a 6-minute contraction, and I was standing in the bathroom, and I actually leant on the towel hanger, and I actually broke it. So I had contractions that were a minute apart, 10 seconds apart, 5 minutes apart, contractions that went for 30 seconds, a minute, 6 minutes. Like, it was absolutely brutal, and it was one of the hardest weeks of my life. So I kept going up to the hospital Wednesday and Thursday night. I went up there once, and they said, "You're not dilating, there's nothing we can do." So I've gone home, and Friday morning I actually already had an appointment booked in with my midwife because I was before my due date. And I had gone back. So the Thursday night I was 1 centimetre dilated, but the Friday morning I was back to 0. Long story short, my partner and myself actually went up the Saturday morning. It was like 3 a.m. the Saturday morning. They wheeled me to maternity, and they checked me over, and I was 4 centimetres dilated. Or was I 3? I don't know. I was 3 or 4. I can't remember. I hadn't slept that whole week. And I hadn't eaten either. So I had no energy. So they kept me from 3:30 in the morning. They broke my waters sometime during that day. I took the gas, I think, about just before lunchtime. And then I was fighting against the epidural. But because my body wasn't dilating, so I was still... So it got into late afternoon. I had the epidural, and the doctor came in and pretty much just had a serious chat with me and was like, "Look, you're not dilating the way you're supposed to. You've been in labour for so many days. You don't have any energy. I think it's time we do a C-section. And I just lost it. I did not want to have a C-section, not because I think there's anything wrong with it. I just thought, I've come this far. I know I'm exhausted, but I know I can do it. So we had a plan. We put the plan in action and it worked. So I started pushing at 11:38 p.m. that Saturday night, and he was delivered at exactly, Carter's pulling the cat's tail. He was delivered at exactly 12:38 a.m. the Sunday morning. So I only pushed for an hour, which the doctor said to me after that. He said hour was a limit for you, and then we would have taken you in for a C-section. So yeah, that's my birth story, Carter's birth story. It's quite long. It was quite an epic week. It took me a little bit to get over it too. And luckily he's here. He's safe, but the whole time that was happening, he was perfect. He wasn't stressed. His heartbeat was fine. And yeah, you're here just after a dramatic entrance. We're just going for something simple. It's a chicken and vegetable puree. Yeah. I usually do normally feed him with an actual baby spoon, but they're so easy to lose, like when you travel and you have a few at everyone's place. Oh, you're hungry. Now that he's had the puree, he's just eating a little sweet potato chip that was left over from my lunch. And I always offer water every time he eats, whether it's a snack or a meal, I always offer it. He doesn't quite know how to suck it out, but he just chews it and the water comes out. So he's still figuring it all out. I started offering water when I first started giving him solids. It's boiled water in here, and then I just pop it in the fridge and he takes it to daycare with him. We take it everywhere. So if you keep offering something, eventually, you know, they'll realise that that's the normal, and once he knows how to properly drink, he will just have water with every meal. As I also do puree and baby-led weaning, so where I give him the actual food, I keep offering something that I know that he might not have liked when he first tried it. So, for example, strawberry. Strawberry was one of the very first foods that he actually tried when we started solids. And he didn't really like it. He kind of would just drop it every time he touched it. But now, as you've seen this morning, he was actually eating it, which is awesome. Same with broccolini. Hi. He wasn't really keen on it when I first started giving it to him, and now he sucks on it. So whether I think that he likes something or not, I still always offer it. Just because I want him to grow up eating a full range of foods. I don't want him to be fussy. I don't want him to not eat certain vegetables, fruits or salads. I want him to eat everything. So I offer everything. He's just laying down and having a bottle. His last bottle he had was at 9 a.m. this morning, and the one before that was somewhere in the night. He doesn't really have set times when he has bottles. I kind of just give them to him whenever he expresses he needs one. He honestly doesn't complain that much, only whether he's hungry or tired, so it's pretty easy to tell whether he needs a bottle or not. But you need to roll back over onto your back. And his belly's so dirty because he crawls everywhere on the ground, and no matter how many times I clean the floors, his clothes still come up brown. Can anyone else relate to that? Because this is our third outfit change today. Roll back over, darling. Roll back over. Okay, so now it's time for his second nap of the day. It's already been 2 hours. He's getting grizzly. Every time I put him down, he doesn't want to be put down, so that's a big sign of his that he's tired. So I'm going to go wrap him. So how I put him to sleep is I wrap him in a big wrap, a big stretchy wrap, with his hands in. Once he's asleep, then he will take out one of his hands, and sometimes I'll pull out the other one because he actually sleeps better with his hands out, but he needs his hands inside the wrap to go to sleep. Otherwise, he just pulls out my hair and attacks my face and doesn't go to sleep. So you're going to say night-night. And I will show you guys when he's all asleep. Okay, so now that he's asleep, I'm going to wash up his bottles, do some washing and just general house cleaning, and have some lunch for myself. Hello. Hi. Hi. He's awake from his second nap. Wasn't as long as the other one. He slept for about 40 minutes. But I did manage to have some lunch and fold some washing in that time, so that's okay. So now he'll have a play. I'm just going to continue on cleaning and he'll just self-entertain. And we'll check back in later. What? It's on your head! It's on your head! Bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave it. Leave it. No, 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 no. Come back here. No, don't touch it. No. Oh, Carter, you need to over here, darling. You need to lay down. You need to lay down and drink your bot. Yeah. While he's drinking that, I'm going to wash up his little seat here. I feed him breakfast usually in this most days when I'm going to work, and it just makes it easier and quicker to clean. So I wash it in the kitchen sink. And his bottles have now stopped sterilising, so I'm going to fill them up with water and pop them in the fridge. Guys, so we're going to wrap things up here. We've got a busy afternoon, so we're not going to be able to show you what we get up to and the night routine. Usually he will just have dinner at around 5, then he'll have quite a long bath. He loves his baths. Or he'll have a shower. And then he'll have a bottle, and normally he's just wrapped and put to bed. At about 6:30 he goes to bed, and then he'll wake up just a couple times through the night for a bottle. So thank you for watching. My Instagram is Hope Morrissey if you would like to follow me and see what we get up to on other days. I hope you've had a lovely day, and goodbye for now. Say bye. Clara. Yeah, goodbye.